Rightio. About as random as it gets, live feed. What's happening? I don't expect this to kick off very well because I haven't done a live feed in months, but if you're here and it's not right now, leave a comment in the comment area below and I'll get to it, I promise. So, with that said, let's try and find the chat room and get this thing started. Play the intro. I don't have an intro, so I won't be playing an intro. What's happening? I'm looking at myself on the screen. Jeez, it's been a long time. Oh, look, it is working. There we go. 30 seconds in. The chat room's up. I can't read it. Stupid eyes. Pop out chat. Dylan C was the first. Congratulations. Pop out chat. Minimize that down because I don't want to see statistics. Got it. Pin the chat. Oh, maybe Az was first. I'm not sure. One of the two. Welcome, guys. Both long-time viewers. I do appreciate it. Aaron, how's it going? Bloody good, eh? It's a bit cold, though. It's a little bit nipply. Good day, mate. Hey, Tone, welcome. I'm not very well set up. And in fact, I had to update absolutely every single program I use to do this live feed. Needed an update. Camera, OBS, Stream Deck, yeah. Hola Brazil, welcome. Did you look into hybrid water heaters? I think that's my next purchase to lower my energy bill. I have not really looked into it, but it's one of those things I only started thinking about last week because we ran out of hot water. And I wanted to heat the hot water with my batteries. But as my batteries age a little bit, I don't know what their current capacity is, but as my batteries age, I'm finding I drain them probably 80% every night, only because I run that there is a Chia harvester, that there is a Chia harvester, and I've got another one in this corner here, and then another one over there. So I run 4 Chia harvesters on and off, and it just chews up the power pretty quick. But I would really love one. I don't have any north facing to put solar for, well, not solar, like the solar collectors thing, the heat pipes or whatever that you use. So I'd need some sort of hybrid, but I've heard that the the heat pump ones aren't very reliable and they tend to break down a lot and they're expensive. So I don't know what the answer to that question is. Nice to have you back. Yes, I'm back. No, not falling off the planet. I just had to YouTube doesn't make me a regular enough income. So I had to make a decision on whether I wanted to push my business or try and continue doing YouTube. And with all the new laws and stuff, it makes it very hard to do YouTube because I'm absolutely shit scared of getting a massive fine I can't afford to pay. So I chose work over YouTube, which kind of sucks considering how much effort I've put into YouTube, only to have it ripped out from underneath my feet from stupid legislation. I am working with somebody at the moment though. Apparently I still can do some stuff. I just can't install it. And I have to use all the right safety gear, which is electrically rated gloves, which is insane. Imagine working with batteries, our size batteries, with big clumsy gloves on. I mean, if they were nice and thin and like latex or something that stuck to your hands and you still have the tactile feel from your fingertips, that might work. But I reckon it'd actually make it more dangerous using the bigger gloves, and I am assuming they're big leather chunky gloves, eye protection and a mask and a jacket and a fireproof jacket and all this sort of stuff. It removes the fun from it. So yeah. Hello from the Virgin Islands. Welcome. Dr. Triple X. Good channel. Thank you very much, sir. Hello from Portugal. Can you talk a bit louder, please? Louder. I can just turn the volume up a little bit. Which one is it? That one? Is it that one? Desktop audio, Logitech audio. That should be better, eh? I can't really talk up louder, unfortunately, but that's all the way up. That turned it off. Okay. Hopefully that's better. What do you got? What? It's 48 volts for fuck's sake. Look, I'm not even. Yeah, it's 48 volts. But what they've done is they've been very, very clever, and they put some thought into the regulations, where I can work with under 60 volts, not a problem. I can do that as long as I do it with gloves and all this sort of shit on. Now the kicker there is 1 kilowatt hour. So they've said, okay, you can work under 60 volts, but you can't do anything larger than 1 kilowatt hour. So I got these the other day, week, month, year ago. Wait a minute. I'm not going to put it on the bench because I don't want to damage hard drives. I don't know if you can see that because I closed the screen. Excellent. So, nothing like being organised. I got a couple of these owls from Big Battery. Completely unexpected. I didn't ask for them. In fact, I said, no, don't send me anything. I think it's insane sending stuff overseas for purpose of review. So as a result, I have a couple of them here, but I haven't done anything with them. I think I've had them for a month or two. And they're 2,000 USD worth of batteries. Now, I don't know what the go is. I mean, I'm not changing this battery. I'm not physically touching any internals of the battery. The power plug is very nicely located in there. I can't short anything out unless I'm an absolute fool, right? And yet, some have said it's still illegal for me to hook this up to an inverter. Even though this is not, I'm not playing with batteries, I'm just connecting a battery. Because this is a 2.5 or 3 kilowatt hours. So, that's, to me, that's madness. But obviously they've done it for a reason. They've done it because, you know, somebody's hurt themselves or someone's burnt something down. So I am working with somebody trying to allow me to keep going, but it's just hard. So I'm up to 50 kilowatt hours of storage and counting. It's too bad for about legislation. It's only too bad because I'm online. Like, people reach out to me all the time and say, hey Pete, we're still doing it. We don't care. We live off grid. We're in the middle of a paddock somewhere, you know. So I think the legislation has a ways to go. I think it needs to be reviewed and made a little bit less panicked, because that's what I think it is. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction to all the hoverboard batteries and stuff that went up. So who knows? Maybe it was my channel that made it bad as well in Australia. I don't know. Damn laws. I tried to keep you safe, but honestly, best way to safety is using your brain. The problem is the brain has been taken out of society. Legislation, lawyers, barristers, whoever you say, judges, have all said, a thief breaks into your house and breaks his leg. I'm liable, not an arsehole that broke in. We live in that world, and I think that plays a part of it as well, like in the overall scheme of legislation and rules and whatever else. DIY Tech and Repairs, what's up? You still alive? Of course I'm still alive. We converse every day in the admin chat. What's up, Peter? Nobody's asked me about my new Mini yet. Good on yous. I'm hoping the new Mini is a sort of a way I can sort of slide away from DIYPowerwalls and try and do something a lot more general. I love doing my bees. My bees are the most calming thing underneath the sun. Even though I repeat the same thing over and over again. Oh, that's a good frame. Oh, that's a good frame. Oh, look at that honey. It's the same thing. It's hard to make good content out of repetition. Kind of did that with batteries. Anyway. Billy, thank you. I think that's to turning the volume up. It must be better. What's up, Peter? DIY solar energy, not a lot, especially this time of the morning. I have a heater between my legs because I'm cold. Um, what do we got? Trouble is, you can't. Trouble is laws. You can't fix stupid. No, you cannot fix stupid. You can beat it with a hammer like they used to do in the old days, or tie it to a tree. All these laws must be only in the down under. Yeah, somewhere around there. Free energy. There's no such thing. Hello, welcome. Make sure you give Peter a thumbs up. Yeah, because I keep losing subscribers because I do bee videos and car videos. Subscribers, sort of like this, down. I'm really trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, but bleh. People aren't smarter today. They just look at a manual for a car. Actually, that new car, I got a box full of manuals. It's going to be a good read, actually. I might work out how to make that run a bit better. I can't get it to cold start. In the morning, I have to literally hook that battery up so the battery in the car doesn't go flat, and turn it over for like half an hour to get it to start. I think I'm gonna put it into a mechanics and say, fix it, and please don't charge me too much. I wish I could build my own EV. I just purchased my Mac E though. Oh, that's pretty cool. I still really want to do the electric Mini. I want to do the electric Mini more than anything else. And there's only a handful of people who have seen this. And I don't know how many of you really care, but I am really, really keen to do the electric Mini to the extent, and COVID kicked my ass. I got really busy. I thought I was going to run out of money, so I cancelled a whole heap of orders with my Mini. And then someone offered me an insane amount for my electric Mini, and I thought, panel van. And I took the opportunity to do that. But what I did get, now it's really hard I've got to work out how I can show you this without showing anything too much. In Queensland, we have a thing called PPQ, which is Personal Plates Queensland, where you can pay a certain amount of money, and in my case, the largest figure of money, to buy a custom number plate for your car. I think I've only showed Patreons and a few inner circle people these, but I've had these for about 18 months. And the box is still sealed. I haven't opened it. Where is it? I haven't opened it at all. But that's a hint. That way. I got personalized plates saying EV Mini. So I am serious about doing it. It's just it has to be cost effective. And they were $2,500, by the way, which is insane for a set of number plates. But that's how much I want to actually do the project. Hello, make sure you give Peter a thumbs up. People, what do we got? I wish I could build an EV today. It says, don't think. Battery acid, back in the day it said, this is the oil change. I saw that meme on Facebook. That was so funny. But it's so true. It's people do dumb shit and then blame other people for it. I'm responsible for everything I do, into the fact where I don't have staff. I don't have employees. I have Ed that works beside me, but he rents space off me. He doesn't work for me. He doesn't do anything. He's basically just a hobby for him. Now, fixing all the mobile phones and stuff. I don't have any staff because I've had staff before. They've screwed shit up, and then it's somehow magically my fault. So they can all bugger off. I'll do everything myself, and I will solely be responsible for what I do and my actions. And that's kind of why I don't want to teach. I try very hard not to teach anybody how to do stuff. I just show them my process on YouTube, because I'm actually scared of that as well. But what do you do? Anybody else mind Chia here and won anything? That is an important question, because that is something I've really gotten into and spent a lot of time and money and not made a cent, which is troubling. But I had to expect that. It's super hot here. I wish it was hot here. I am shivering underneath the desk, even though my nuts are hugging a heater. I don't know. It got that cold there. Look at these hands. What is it? DIY Solar Energy. Look at these hands. Look how soft and, well, they look pink to me. They probably look bright white to you because of the white balance. They've got a fine covering of Dove hand soap. They're looked after. But when it gets cold, or it gets a little bit chilly, or gets too hot, they start to get damaged. And we can't have that, right? No, seriously, I don't do hot. I don't do cold. Yeah, anyways. Video unavailable. If that's your YouTube name, you deserve a friggin' medal. What are stupid regulations you have there? And these batteries, geez. No, yeah, look, we can go on all day long, but it's probably not worth it. That's over $2,500 there. Yes, it is. Wow. Chosen or bought a motor for your conversion yet? No. The problem with that is if I do a conversion, the first thought was Conrad Gibbs from down south was going to sell me an AC20 motor. It only had like 50 horsepower or something, but it was only like 6 inches around, 24 inches long or something, and only weighed like 23 kilos from memory. And my initial plan was, it's a small motor. It doesn't take much, it was only, I think, 96 volts or something. So I could run it on a couple of Tesla batteries because I wanted the Tesla reference in there just for, you know, so it brings some continuity between my batteries and the batteries that run that, right? I was thinking about that and just putting the motor on top, but I tried learning AutoCAD so I could draw everything up, and I had everything done in my head. But when it comes to trying to learn AutoCAD, I didn't have the time or the skills, or I got really frustrated. And then I thought, well, I will 3D print the motor. So I got the motor together and I downloaded all the schematics and stuff like that and started printing it. But because I own an Ender 3 that relentlessly clogs and stops printing after probably 15% of any print, and I spent the last 4 days trying to get it running again, and it just keeps clogging. I've tried every different temperature. I've tried cleaning it out. I've tried new tips. I bought a brand new direct drive, what do you call it, extruder, all metal hot end. I got all the good gear on it, and it still clogs every single time, and it drove me to tears. So, and that was like 18 months ago, a year ago. So I tried to 3D print the motor because I want to put it on top, put it on the standard gearbox. That motor wouldn't overpower the gearbox with power, however it might with torque. But it was a nice, easy install. Now I just want to put a Tesla small drive motor in there and be done with it. I think that would be the neatest thing underneath the sun. But again, that's really, really expensive. It's like 8,000 Australian dollars or something just for the motor. And then they're high voltage, not low voltage. So you need a fair few batteries, or not Tesla batteries. You'd have to go something that you could provide a higher voltage in a smaller area. And I don't want the batteries to be intrusive. I want the cargo space to be exactly the same it is. So I could put some underneath the subframe at the back of the car. In between, there's a little like hole in the subframe. I could put them behind the back seats there, and I could put them on top of the motor in the engine bay. So I could get quite a few batteries in there without intruding into the inside of the space, and still have like 100+ kilometers of range. So that's in my head, but that is, I'm going to be honest, that is so far down the track that I haven't thought about it much more than recanting what I thought in the past. I do, but I haven't even made a penny. 478 plots. I have, what do I have? I think I did something creative like that. I have my 1 XCH or 0.0001, whatever you call it. And my farm, I have 873 plots with 0 income and 87 terabytes of space used. So everyone's saying it's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam. But let's face it, if it was a scam, they wouldn't put that little disclaimer there that I can't zoom in on, you can't see, but it says you have 0.00003% of the space on the network. So farming a block will take 2 months in expectation. Actual results may take 3 to 4 times longer than this estimate. So it is a lotto. They did write it there. It is very well documented. So I can't blame them. But I would have hoped. What's your temp there? The temp is under 10 degrees Celsius. It would be awesome for a company to create and build its own electric car kits. Yeah, but I don't have the space or the tools to do that. To an electric car kit, you need at the very least you need a lathe, a CNC cutter, like a aluminium or TIG welders, and a few things like that, so you could actually create the parts. I work here on this side of my thing, and I've got one car there on that side, and my other car, my van will go behind it next week when I have the radiator flushed and stuff. I just don't have space for it. It'd be cool as all get out, and I do have people that could help me do that, but I'm not here to create a company. I'm here to muck around with batteries and have a bit of fun and meet new people. So it's around 10 degrees. Yeah, it is 10 degrees, yes. Maybe it's the filament. No, I opened a new box of filament this morning, yesterday, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 boxes of filament up there that I've opened, tested, and it hasn't worked either. So that stack there is all filament in the boxes, and then the 2 open ones inside of it, which will be stuffed. But my kid's got a 3D, the 3D pencil or the pen, so he comes out and steals filament all the time. It's on a Wednesday this year. It's bloody Monday. No, last week was even colder. Last week was freezing. Get a bigger hammer. Look, that's an option. What's happening? Well, I found photonic induction is back on YouTube. That's so cool. So all is well. Back. Also bought a Tesla for myself. This thing is fucking bonkers. My son keeps asking me, my 8-year-old, 9-year-old, whatever. I don't know. I'm the father, not the mother. He keeps asking when we're going to buy a Tesla. And I say, I'm not a famous YouTuber yet that can afford a Tesla Plaid and a bloody, what else, a Porsche Cayenne and whatever else. I won't support anything Tesla. He is not God. I don't think he's God at all, but he produces cars that drive a lot faster than God's cars do. And tell you why you are now working on one panel van and not the green one. You don't need another. I sold the green one, Andy. I sold my electric Mini, the patinaed one, that I spent a lot of money on. I sold that one, and then I bought that one for my wife because she wanted a car that she could drive now. And we've had that car for over a year, and no, for 6 months, and I think she's put 400 Ks on it. And then the panel van was just, it was a good price. I wouldn't have walked away from it at that price. I would have been crazy. I got it for a really, really staggeringly good price. But there's a lot of work, and there's a few surprises there that I found so far, which actually, I am worried about one of them, but I'll see what the engineer says on Wednesday when he comes out to tell me, well, the roadworthy guy comes out on Wednesday to tell me what I need to do to get it running. I saw in the Facebook group, got 2 coins in a few months. I was pleased. Yeah, that was pretty good. I keep waking up thinking, oh, I'm going to get some more, but I've got I think on that one I've got another 20 plots. On that one I've got another 10 plots, and that one I've got probably another 8 plots. I got to coagulate, but I'm out of space. Where is my Chia farm? My Chia farm is out of space. I think I'm totally out of space. Yes, I am. So that's my temp drive. So that's no, that's the wrong screen. That's my temp drive. So it's got 2 terabyte NVMe's in RAID 0, and that's just my local disk. But even on my local disk, I've got 1 plot because I had space. Trying to use every little bit I can, trying to do it right. The plan was actually to 3D print a whole heap of like holders, so I could stack up a whole heap of second-hand hard drives. But I bought a bunch of cards off eBay. They're like 80 bucks each, 8-port SATA cards, and they all only had 4 ports work. Well, the first batch, the first one that I got, and then I got another 5 later, all of them only had 4 ports that are working, so I got a refund on all them. So I was gonna try and do just recycled drives with Chia, not buying a whole heap of new ones. I've only got you can get these ones for $99, 4 terabyte ones. So I've got 2 of them left there and another 1 hiding behind there. I'm just slowly filling up. So one should stick in the printer. No, cameraman, what I'm thinking, one consistent that, and I've ordered the parts. One consistent I've seen with this is I've used the same heater and the same, what's it called? Temperature sensor within the hot end. What I'm thinking is I haven't got the right temperature there, and it's either getting too hot, the heat's creeping up to the colder part of where the radiator is, where the filament goes through, and blocking up there, because that's where it's blocking. It's not blocking in the hot end. So I'm thinking it might be temperature related. So I've ordered those parts as a last ditch effort to try and fix it. I don't do early Monday mornings. You don't do end of 3 either. How much does it cost to run the storage? What do you mean by that, Smart? Running the storage for me now is almost no cost at all. That is kind of what I wanted to see, except I was going to show you that, but for some reason my SMA has crashed. So I'm, what do we do? Total output is only 400 watts at the moment there. My batteries don't look much different to what they did years ago. You know, for anybody new watching this chart and seeing how dodgy everything looks, the first 38 cells have actually got 3 long bonds on each cell, which they absolutely don't need. I just can't be bothered changing it back to 1. So if you look at the pattern every 14, it sort of repeats because they're all balanced between themselves. And then the last 14 on this side here are in the battery set. So these are the oldest batteries, and they get hit the hardest because they've got the shortest cable. The other one's got like 3 or 4 meters of cable, and this one's only got 30 centimeters of cable to it. So these ones have a much higher drain on them than the first ones. So it looks a lot worse than what it really is. But as for how much does it cost to run it? Practically nothing, because now it just sits there and works. It's fairly autonomous. It turns off when it goes flat. It turns back on once it's got charge in it again. At the moment in winter, probably once, I don't know, once every 7 days, the batteries go flat enough so they don't, so it turns off during the night. But that's mainly because on the weekend we do washing, drying, vacuum the house, dishwasher gets used on the weekend. We often do like a roast dinner on something on the weekend, and we have electric oven. So there's a lot of really high energy use on the weekend where we can pull 8,000 watts for 3 hours, 4 hours, and that just destroys the batteries. And in fact, most of that is not on the battery. Well, half of that's not on the batteries. But yeah, so it doesn't cost that much at all, I guess. With all I have invested, DIY solar energy. I agree, absolutely agree. Someone's messaging me. Sorry, it's Mum. Mum wants to know, our dam is not really a dam, it's just a hole with sand. Attachment unavailable. I'll ring you back later, Mum. Sidetracked. 25 inside, 12 outside. Your printer needs my magic touch again. Yes, your magic touch. Actually, when you're coming over here, can you bring the SATA card over? No. We have 32 in the shadows here. Warmest day in Sweden for a long time. It's hot here for us. 32. No, 32 in this shed is terrible. 32 out there in the backyard is nice. Thoughts on mining. I love mining. I like the challenge of learning stuff new with mining. I've been doing computers for 22 years, self-employed. So mining is a good way of getting away from fixing Mum's you know, problem with the computer, Mum and Dad's problem with the computer, or the teenage boy's porn addiction. And it takes me away to something a little bit more difficult, because let's face it, computer repair is reloading Windows and putting a new hard drive in lately. What else have we got? Thoughts on mining. I just discovered this channel by the Powerwall and it's amazing. Thank you very much and welcome to the community. You should probably merge to Dogecoin. Is it Doge? Yeah, Dogecoin. Yeah, I've got it's what bought my Tesla as well as a bucket load of other stuff that not God Ellen is up to something with, I'm sure. Dogecoin, that's what I've got. One rig over there that was mining mining, I've forgotten the name, Chia coin on the NVMe's and on a couple of hard drives on the bottom half of it, and on the top I was running Dogecoin. But I was only getting like 30 Doge, no, I wasn't getting about 5 Dogecoin a day, and using a lot of extra power, and it was killing my battery, so I turned that off, and I haven't actually turned it back on again. I probably should. I'm more interested in learning than I am about mining my own coins, and I make a lot more money fixing people's rigs than I do actually mining, so it's not really worth it. Hey David, pause, welcome brother, love your content still, dude, keep cranking it out. You'll be 1 million subscribers before no time, I promise you. You will have a Tesla and a Porsche Cayenne, just like lots of other people on YouTube. Another YouTuber, hi Andy, 5-ish watts per day, per drive basically. It's 5-ish watts per hour, yes. But it adds up. If you've got 21 terabyte hard drives, it adds up really quick. How many kilowatt hours do you use in a day? In winter, it's been really cold and I'm getting old, and I don't want to be uncomfortable anymore. Whereas I used to just put a blanket around myself. Now I turn all the heaters on to like 35 degrees or something, so the whole house stays hot. Look, it's not very eco-friendly, but I've been going through, with the heaters running, about 80 kilowatt hours a day from the grid, between 50 and 80 kilowatt hours a day from the grid, on top of all my solar and batteries. So that's probably 120 a day. But you know what? I got so sick and tired. Like, I've been doing this for years, right? Longer than most of you do, you know. And I just got sick and tired of watching electricity. I'm done. It sits there and it works and it does save me money. And in summertime, like the 6 months of the year in between, like in the off season, so to speak, where we don't use heating and we don't use cooling and we save a lot of power, and I get a credit now. But when it's cold, screw it. I'm going to turn the heater on. When it's hot, I'm going to turn the air conditioner on and enjoy it for what it is. I'd love to do solar air conditioner as well, but again, laws. Do I watch Formula One? No, I do not watch any form of sport. I don't take my children to sport, and no, I'm not a sport person. My parents made me do little athletics when I was a kid. Hated sport ever since. AN Martins, I'm sorry, Brazil. I think I just munted your name, but welcome. Thanks for joining me. David, thank you. David, thank you. 80 kilowatt, holy mother of God. I thought it was energy efficient using 25 kilowatt hours a day. Like I said, it's got nothing to do with trying to be energy efficient. It's just, I want to be comfortable. As I breach the 45-year-old mark, I sometimes hurt when I wake up in the morning. So it's like, no, screw it, turn the heater on. Hell yeah, use it. My wife only lets me play. She doesn't have to change any habits. Nice. Wife's putting me to work. Thanks for the update. Awesome. Cheers, mate. I'll see you later. How do you have your inverter hooked up to your consumer unit instead of the grid? Or two of you have two consumer units? Okay, so I'll try and explain that as quickly as I possibly can without visual aids. So I have a TL5000, which is an SMA inverter, which just sits on the wall, and that runs 6,000 watts of solar panels. That just feeds into the grid, or it feeds in the house, you know, whatever it does. Grid tie inverter, right? And then I've got an SP2000, which is an AC coupled inverter that's sort of around the corner from it, all professionally installed. It does the nighttime load, but it's only set to 500 watts. It can do 2,000 watts, but only set it to 500 watts because 500 watts is sort of my shed load up here. So it sort of covers that. And then I've got two PIP 4048s. So they're 4,000 watts, 48 volts. And what I say they are this side of the grid. So we've got the grid over here, and we've got my meter box, and then we've got the two PIP inverters. They are not on grid. In fact, if I connected them up to any power source on the incoming power source, they'd just blow up. They cannot have AC going into the output or anything like that. They can't be grid connected. They destroy themselves in a tenth of a second. So all my batteries are sort of on there except for the AC coupled system, which you probably saw a couple of years ago. And then, so the batteries go into those inverters, and now there's, don't quote me, but I think 8 or 9 kilowatt hours of off-grid solar that go into those two PIP inverters, into their respective charge controllers, and a PCM60X, which is a 60 amp 48 volt MPPT charge controller. So that also charges the batteries. So I've got 3 strings of solar going into the batteries, and then the 2 inverters that go out. Well, 3 inverters actually technically go out. I hope that explains it. I do have that battery behind there that you can't see because of the Ryobi box. It's the same way. It's only got 3 solar panels on it, and then a 1,000 watt inverter, and then 10 kilowatt hours of batteries. But that's completely off grid, and all that does is run the lights above my head and supplement some other things in here when I need to. Like in summertime, it runs 2 big fans because there's plenty of extra power. Video unavailable. I find Queensland winter, I make solar to my batteries quicker than in summer. Maybe the panels get too hot in summer because it's less efficient. Absolutely, efficiency comes into it. My problem is the sun's much lower in the sky, and I've got trees like 2 doors up, like on public land that are really tall. So I don't get very much sun on my off-grid solar until like 10 or 10:30 in the morning. I mean, it's 8 o'clock in the morning now, and we're still drawing 330 amps from the batteries, and what we're using. Yeah, so we're using practically everything that we're producing. 330 watts, sorry. And then in the afternoon, I've got another council tree on the thing, and it shades all the solar panels. So I get probably 5 sun hours on my panels a day. That's like above 80%. Whereas in summertime it picks up a lot higher, and it's a better angle for all the solar panels, and it just smashes it out. So my summertime is definitely better than winter. Also, my solar panels on my shed roof here have 2 purposes. 1, to produce electricity, but 2, to also keep the direct sun off the shed roof, so it keeps it much cooler in here. So yeah, I'm 47 and hate the cold too. There we go. One other person on YouTube agrees with me, so it must be true. Garage work pretty much stops from November to March due to the UK temp, and it's not that cold really. Oh, you're in UK, yeah, that'd be freezing. No, I couldn't do that cold. Anyway, Chris Chester, any idea why my people only connect to PC when on grid? As soon as it switches to over, I get no data. I think I would try different versions of the software. I got an odd thing with one version of the software when I went to off grid, and my what is it called, watch power would crash, and then I couldn't get anything out of it. I had to totally reboot the computer, connect back up when it was an off-grid mode, and then change it back to on-grid. I found if I turned watch power to off-grid mode, and then immediately closed watch power, and then open watch power again, it would stay connected in offline mode as well. But I'm fairly sure that is the version of watch power I've got. My current version is version 1.13P3. It's probably 6 months old. So 1.138P3 is the version. So I don't think it's the same, but it might have something to do with it. My wife doesn't like panels. Of course, I love them. My system is off-grid. The spring I recommended that the panels were making more power than we could consume, and she said, "Great, can we take them down?" I like that you actually put that on a separate line, so I had to read it. My other half doesn't care, because she did in the beginning, because I spent a lot of money setting it all up, but now it's not so much because it works. It's autonomous. She can still do a bunch of stuff. I don't care. So, like with the PIP inverters being 4 or 5 years old now, I've proved that they work. They've made their money. It doesn't owe me anything, and I'm cash positive for the whole project, not including the extremely generous YouTube income and the 1% I get from eBay now. Thank you, eBay, for changing all your URLs. Yeah, so my wife doesn't really care. It looks a little bit ugly, and I don't like the way it looks in some cases, especially because back down this way, which is not where the sun's coming from, the council cut down a whole heap of trees because my neighbour complained, because we're having snakes. They don't like snakes, apparently. And it sort of opened up my fence line so you could see all the solar panels more from the road. You could always see them, but you could see them more. Most likely the ground that differs to run the computer on the load inverter to the grid. It runs from the inverter side. 11 p.m. I got to go to work. That's a bit harsh. I haven't enough crypto to retire. Later, dude. See you, man. I would measure the ground and do a run wire stretcher. I do USB on mine. Converter that I changed it twice. I use it. I I can only guess because there is some... Who's ringing me at 8 o'clock in the morning? I forgot that I have to work today. So in about an hour, I've got to go to work. So I'm going to kick on with this because this is fun. I do miss the live feeds and the banter and the chat. Don't ask me why I use watch power since it sucks. But watch power works. Come on, and for the price of it, you can't complain. Steve, I like your Powerwall project. I want to start my own Powerwall. What would I need to run 250 watts, 24 hours, 7 days a week? Is 250 watts your load? Because that's a metric shit ton of solar and batteries. That's an enormous amount of batteries. That's like porn server type amount of batteries. My wife will be going soon. I have to go and open up the door. I've got the door shut, so it's a little bit warmer in my 56 square meter bloomin' workshop, and that's only floor space. There's probably, but I can't maths in my head, but I don't know, 300 cubic meters of air in here, and my little heater underneath my legs will not keep that warm. Sup, Peter? Not a lot. Not this cold anyway. See you, little. Have a good day. Love ya. I keep forgetting where I'm up to. You'll need batteries and solar panels. I have tried different versions of watch power, also multi SOD control. I will look at grounding it as it seems to be random. I just logged in and running it. What about, is it, the only thing I can think of is the little component itself inside the inverter. Remind me, Chris, if my inverters ever blow up, I'll pull one out and send it to you. The little USB bit, which is pretty easy to change. We have missed you too. Ah, nah, shucks. How many people are watching this overly awesome random live feed? Is it that one? 45. We've broken a record. Needed to buy. What is needed in order? Off grid? Is there a good inverter, or what is needed? I reckon go over and have a look at what is it? He just commented here before, and I forgot. David Poz. Check out David Poz's videos. He does lots and lots of stuff with different inverters and batteries and teardowns and stuff like that. Also done some absolutely freaking fantastic, and I've got the heater all wrapped around my leg. Does some absolutely fantastic stuff with hot water systems and stuff back in the day, heating his kids' pool and what have you. Go and check out David Poz. You won't regret it. What else? 7 days a week is near my average. I think you need more than 40 kilowatt hours of batteries. I think you probably need more than like 100. I've just upgraded to 400 watt shingle panels. They are amazing and work and less light. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've got my fingers crossed. Hopefully, just the one blows. Well, they're still going, so I'm not sure when they will die. But I'm fairly sure it's got to be in the next 12 to 18 months. I don't think you reasonably get 4 to 5, 6 years out of a PIP inverter. It doesn't happen. That said, my old 24 volt inverter still works. I put new fans in it a few years ago. We turned it on the weekend just to try to see if it actually still worked, and it still worked. So that's pretty good. Even though we got a 4,000 watt one out there at the farm now, the little 2400 watt one still works. I'll also check out Will's solar stuff. Yeah, he's got a Tesla. You should check out Will Pro's stuff. He must be a good YouTuber. And a Porsche. Is it Will Pro's got a Tesla and a Porsche and 7 houses? And yeah, I don't get it. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Grow Watt actually quite good. I like my Grow Watt inverter. Also check out Will Pros. There we go. Dave Pos is magic. Dave Pos has to be the most realistic YouTuber I've seen. I'm just cautiously editing that in my own head. The content comes across as extremely human. I guess that would be the best way of putting it. And I really enjoy his method of telling a story. Him and Lithium Solar, Mike Nacko. I mean, Mike's not here at the moment, so he will get stern words from me later. Happy Father's Day. Is it actually Father's Day in Australia? I don't even know when Father's Day is, and I certainly didn't get any Father's Day from my children. So I think Father's Day in Australia is a different day. It might be the same day. I just never get any recognition for anything around here. Jesus. Actually, I'm going to open the door so when my wife leaves to go to Woolworths, she can walk in. God, it's cold. I got up off my seat and my bum got cold straight away. Right, nobody said boobs. That's fantastic. So down to earth, absolutely. Well, thanks, Peter. That means a lot to me, dude. It's true. I'm not doing it for advertising. It's true. You're just a fucking awesome bloke, and I think you'll get 1 million subscribers sometime in the near future, and then you can have that Tesla. Your wife can have one as well. I'm too busy paying off my house and trying to get some savings to spend any money, except on minis. HBPowerwall, DIY Tech and Repairs, Average J David Pos. Yep, that's pretty much the thing. I mean, to a degree, Jehu was there in the past, but he doesn't do too many battery videos now that come up on my feed. He might still do them. Did I just admit I don't really watch him much anymore? Moving on. Not Father's Day, September for us. There we go. I didn't screw that up. Thanks for such useful info to enable others to build actual operating systems. Oh, good. I'm happy to have been of service, and I've enjoyed the ride. I don't enjoy it anymore though. We'll have to look into building an 80 kilowatt hour system. Can you imagine how much that would? Q, please name what day it is. MG Tow. What the heck? Well, who's MG Tow? What's MG Tow? What are you referring to? I build my own house to save money. I couldn't afford houses in my area. Aren't you like a building contractor or something, Dave? I couldn't build a house if I tried. What size nail do I use? And then I'd give up. I'm actually impressed that I got a Powerwall that works and is still working, because I don't think I've ever finished a project like that in my life until YouTube. What day is it? MG Tow. But mine, you mentioned mortgage. Your email was Irish Rifle. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. So I was thinking about doing a video for my 100,000. I was a professional energy auditor and general contractor. Jesus Christ, you fell into your niche. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for my 100,000 subscriber video. I wanted to do something epic, but I just don't know what to do. I have no idea. Tesla small drive in a Mini with a battery? That'd be alright. My dog just come and sat down. No, she's gone again. Yeah. Professional energy auditor. That'd be kind of cool. Telling people how to do it. I'll watch that. The problem is I don't have time to actually, because I can't do the conversion myself, so I'd have to take it out to Springwood, get them to do it, and I think they're really busy, so they wouldn't be able to do it too quickly either. The Honeystead started a live video. Oh, dearie me. Wifey's here, I'm in trouble. Right. No boobs, no sweat.
Shut up.
I think I better shut up. That's what I got told. Where are you going? Are you going to work? What the fuck? You got lipstick on?
No.
Your lips are all red. The fucking
It's
hair
fucking
and your...
cold.
Don't complain to them about it. Half of them little bastards live in the snow.
I'll get over it then.
You want your Mini?
No, because the bastards won't start.
It'll start eventually.
Sooner or later.
Do you want me to take it over to a mechanic and just tell him to fix it? You can drive it over there, you just got to get it started. Alright, see ya. 100k subscriber, barbecue at yours. That would actually be cool. But I don't want to sit around and talk about Powerwalls. I want to get drunk and do nudie runs up the street. Maybe not, okay, but... I brought a £20 spot welder, wondering how bad it would blow up. So upset when it didn't. A fairly good spot weld. Snow, I do not. I've seen so many of those cheap spot welders fail. You know what I should do? I should finish this video. Wait a minute. Where is it? I did a video and pissed a lot of people off, right? This is what's left of the battery, the Ryobi battery that everybody's saying, no, not the Ryobi battery, the lithium battery, the knockoff Ryobi battery. I started doing a video and I lost all the footage because Chia mining, and I deleted a whole heap of stuff. But I set the battery up like this. So I soldered a whole heap of balance leads on, and then I started doing some load tests on it. Now, it fell out of the whippersnipper and smashed the housing, so it doesn't work anymore as a battery. But that 9 amp hour battery that everyone gave me hell about, tell me I was sponsored by Ryobi, which I'm absolutely not. It's just my wife buys me Ryobi stuff for Father's Day and Christmas and birthday and whatever else. That's actually a 3 amp hour battery. It's got less than probably 30 full cycles on it, and it's just on 3 amp hour battery, and it's sold as a 9 amp hour battery. So I've gone through and I've ordered another brand new, exactly the same battery, a 9 amp hour and a 3 amp hour. And I'm going to do a video on that because I think it's just unethical the way people are starting to sell batteries and stuff on. Well, they've always done it, haven't they? But I think I'm going to start doing a whole lot of videos and calling the bastards out, hold them accountable for what they're doing. One day you'll do your K-Weld super caps. The K-Weld, I don't even know if the K-Weld's still here. The problem with that is people randomly borrow the K-Weld. Actually, no, it is here. That's still going, by the way. That still works absolutely perfectly. There has never been a problem with that K-Weld with the K-caps. It turns it into a freaking beast. It's absolutely friggin' awesome. Summer here, UK 10 Saturday, hot tub watching YouTube. That sounds kind of romantic, Chris. Of course, you are sponsored, rolling in the millions because you have a few tools. Geez, you get some assumptions people make. It's crazy. What people don't understand about my YouTube journey is I'm a hooker, right? I want to lie down, I want to get fucked, and then I want to get paid. For any video that I do, I want to break even at the very least. Now, I can sit here and look straight in the camera and say, I have received commissions from Battery Hookup, from Banggood, from eBay, from Amazon, and all the rest, which is sometimes is a substantial amount of money. But what I can say is, I've never received a single cent, and in fact I've rejected every single offer to do paid reviews where they pay me to say something about a product. I have never received a single cent from any person related to a product that I have on my channel. Never one. I've gotten free product, but I have never been paid. I've never accepted a cent, even though it's been offered on a lot of occasions. I still get over 10 sponsorship offers a week, and 99.9% of them, I say bugger off, it looks like shit. Or they spam me over and over and over again. Oh, we want you to do this, we want you to do that. Or I reply and they don't reply back. There's lots of reasons. Why has that camera got a thing on it? No, it must be on the inside of the camera. I've never received a cent for any of that sort of stuff. I've never sold out. I've always maintained that I shouldn't be paid from a small company. Like, I'm just shooting examples because it's on the top of my head. Batrium, MPP Solar, K-Weld. K-Weld, I've sold. The K-Weld, I've got over, I think I'm over 50,000 clicks on my link from my videos to the K-Weld website. Now, I don't know how many I've sold, but I've never received a cent. Never gotten paid, never made any commission, because I just believe in the product. The same with MPP Solar. I've never earned any money from that recommendation. So I just want to hold that standard, so to speak. I went off on a tangent, and I'm very sorry, but I am passionate about the fact that, you know, I haven't accepted any money. Florida, how are you doing? I'm good, thank you. Bearded Woodworker, thanks, buddy, for tuning in. Not really, just me and 40 other people also watching YouTube in my hot tub. 40 other people. Now that just brings weird to an all new standard, Chris. Who peed? It wasn't me. Paid reviews suck. Absolutely. I'd never do that unless they pay you for my house and something crazy. Yeah. Can you track clicks? Well, tracking clicks is easy. You just use something like Bitly or something like that, but it's not terribly good. And the problem with tracking clicks is you also find out what's not working. There's a recent case with one of our suppliers that wasn't one of our sponsors, that wasn't putting. You could link to their front page, but it wouldn't drop an affiliate cookie. So I sent thousands of people their way, and yeah, so that happens, I guess. And then I go on a tangent again. My K-Weld is the bee's knees. And on that note, if you need a K-Weld and you're in Brisbane, Australia, and you need to borrow it, you can borrow it. Also, if you are my one of my Patreons, I will post the K-Weld to you and pay for return postage if you're a Patreon supporter. So you can use that for free. How are you doing? Paid reviews suck. K-Weld. It's not that hard, David. If you want to help, I'm willing to do it for you. Yeah, tracking clicks is really good because you can work out stuff, and even in eBay, what else allows it? Not battery hookup, big battery, and things like that. You can put in notes into each one, so you can see which video created the most amount of passive income. You can see all that sort of stuff. So using those clicks can sort of show you a path to take and whether something's working or not working. Bitly is good for simple tracking. Yes, very simple tracking, but it doesn't always track very well, but it does still track. It's better than nothing. What solar panels would you recommend for me to try and start the system until I can afford it? Second-hand ones. second-hand ones, dude. I mean, if you live in Australia, people give away solar panels. You can't get rid of them quick enough. But other places, like in the US, the price of second-hand panels is nuts. We've got this situation in Australia at the moment where they started the solar scheme plus 10 years ago now, I believe. It would be actually. So a lot of the solar installations are starting to fail. Like some of the cheaper ones, some of the ones before they did rules. And the solar installers have to pay to get rid of those solar panels. So they have to pay to dump them, they have to pay to recycle them. And they charge the customer for that service. So what a lot of them do is turn around and just list them on places like Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace and say free panels or $5 panels or $10 panels. And you can go and pick up 60 panels for 10 bucks each. Or for a lot of times it's free. It's madness, but legally you can't also install them at high voltage or even above 60 volts. So there's that as well. And it's probably leading to the price dropping, not being able to do it. I couldn't buy secondhand panels and a secondhand solar inverter that is approved through the CEC, which is the Clean Energy Council in Australia. I couldn't find an unemployed electrician to come and install them for $1 million. They just wouldn't do it. And it's odd. They want to sell you a completely new system that they can, and it's not odd actually, it makes sense, that they can warranty, that they can know that it's not going to come back and bite them, their own insurance saying, you know, burnt the house down or something like that. And on that note, I am going to have to shut up shop and leave because I've got a customer. I can hear them rattling the gate down there. I should turn the camera on. So I'm going to have to run away. I am very sorry, but day job does come first. Everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're still here, please smash that like button because, you know, my wife needs, I don't know, coffee. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Sorry for bailing. Take it easy, guys. I will see you laters.